spilling coffee all over myself. I remember one time I was broken up with somebody and the line that they used was, "I can't be with you because I don't love myself." At the time, I thought this was such a line. I was pissed, I was hurt, I was brokenhearted, but I've since had a lot of time to reflect upon that because I've had other relationships since that experience. I've noticed a pattern with the type of people that I tend to attract. Came to the realization that perhaps I was attracting people that didn't love themselves because it was a direct reflection of how I felt about myself. And that might actually be a little bit too strong of a thing to say because it's not that I don't love myself. I think I'm learning more and more how to discipline myself. Disciplining myself seems like I'm like, bad Lonnie. Whoa. It's more like maintaining balance and moderation and boundaries. Those are forms of self-love that I'm still kind of learning how to master. When I would enter into relationships, I found again and again that I would neglect those forms of self-care that I had been working on. All those things that I had just listed were things that were set on the back burner because I would then put the other person's needs and priorities before my own, which is so not healthy. So not healthy for like a balanced, functioning relationship. All of that energy that I was investing in somebody else was energy that I should have been redirecting into my life and into my future. And it's nothing against them. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me because I'm the one that prioritizes my time and energy. Our society definitely tends to romanticize like, oh, I'll do anything for you, like you'll always come first in my life. Many of those ideas are really beautiful, but they're not always the healthiest. I feel like love stories and Hollywood tend to make us think that love has to be this like groundbreaking, astronomical thing. My ideal form love is one that is built on a foundation of trust and stability and peace. I kind of have two topics here that I'm sort of mashing up today because I feel like they kind of interplay together. I've been having a few conversations with some people that I know that are close to me, and a lot of them have kind of disclosed that they're afraid of being alone, especially when so many of us have been pushed into isolation and a lot of us have had to be separated from our partners. And it's so funny because I used to be so good at spending time alone. I used to love it. I had step siblings kind of here and there. For the most part, I was an only child, but I was moving around a lot as well, so making friends wasn't always the easiest. I had some friends in some towns and really not friends in some other towns. It became almost like a default for me to like entertain myself and be my own company, and it was a skill that I developed very, very early on to be a little bit independent. Unfortunately, it comes across as being aloof. It's something I'm working on. I'm also an Aquarius. We've talked about this. It's fine. I've been spending almost too much time alone, and I kind of love it because it's like I'm rediscovering this person that I've always been, but now I'm beginning to like really appreciate and value her in a completely different light because I am loving myself enough to prioritize myself, which is weird to say. If you're vibing with this kind of content, by the way, feel free to subscribe. If I don't say that now, I feel like I always forget to say that. Yeah, it helps me out. Or just a thumbs up even would be great. So I've touched on this in previous videos, which I will have linked somewhere, how it's important to see yourselves as like a sort of a sim, like we get to control our sim and our life and things like that, and that's sort of been a pretty big theme for me the past few months. However, it's also important for me to see myself as like my own friend, because if you really think about it, and I don't want to be morbid, there will come a time where we are standing alone. You're the only person that can pick yourself up out of this space and rebuild yourself into something better again. And if you don't love that person, that's going to be so extremely hard. I think the road to self-love and self-discovery stems from spending time alone. Even if you're in a relationship, you can still prioritize you time, even just like sitting with your thoughts. Believe me, I know how scary that sounds. If you're afraid of being alone, why? Maybe acknowledge that. Why is it that you're afraid of being alone? What are you so afraid to look at with complete honesty in your life? Is it your job? Is it your relationships? Is it your attitude towards yourself? Is it an addiction that you're refusing to acknowledge? Being alone has so many gifts and so many beautiful little nuggets of wisdom that it's provided me. I'm still learning. So I'm not sitting here trying to be an expert and being like, oh, I'm an expert at like being alone and like meditation and mindfulness. I'm on my journey just like everybody else. Every time I get like a little bit of like insider wisdom, I like turn my camera on because I'm like, oh my God, I have to talk about this. You can't truly love yourself if you don't truly know yourself. And in order to truly know yourself, you need to spend time alone. You're not actually alone, you're spending time with yourself, which is sort of another kind of esoteric concept if you really think about it. And maybe this is just me being all like, oh, like I'm my own friend, talking to myself and like making my own jokes and laughing at my own jokes. Maybe I am a little bit unhinged.
Hello, this is Editing Lonnie. Basically, the point that I'm trying to make with this statement is that you should treat yourself the same way that you would treat a friend. So in the same care, the same amount of love, the same amount of affection. Maybe some of you don't treat your friends all that well, but essentially what I'm trying to say is that the way that you care for yourself teaches other people how they should care about you too. Okay, back to the video.
It's easy to get down when you're looking at your flaws, honestly. But here's the thing. You have to remember to also look at your strengths. And you have so much beauty and wisdom and skills to contribute to this world. And right now I'm trying to grow as a person, as a soul. I'm trying to be better. I'm trying to release old patterns that are no longer serving me and trying to step into a new life that really reflects who I am. That's really going to benefit me and make me happy for many years down the road. So what are some things that you do that reflect your self-love? Do you spend time alone? If you do, what activities do you do when you're alone that help enrich your life or help you get to know yourself on a deeper, truer level? So stay tuned every Sunday on this channel for a new video about mindfulness, spirituality, mental health, that kind of thing. I've got some new faces on this channel, which is really awesome. So thank you for subscribing. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I will see you next time.